Welcome to the Sexy Freedom Media Podcast, a place to discuss pain, passion, and pursuits.
Let's get it. I want to feel alive.
Breathe.
Make some moves.
Protect the throne. This is Sexy Freedom Media Podcast.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Sexy Freedom Media Podcast. It's your host, Helen Edwards, and it is the last week of 2022. And I just want to ask each of you right now, what is your biggest lesson of 2022? As we take this week to reflect on everything that happened this past year, I invite some of you to think about not just the lessons you've learned, but the habits that you are currently in or stayed in during this year. Did you have a chance to create new habits? Did you decide to change your habits? What kind of results did you get from your habits? And moving forward, what do you think can change with your habits to gain different results? I ask this because this is something that I've been pondering on for the past couple months, actually. I keep thinking about my life and where it's gone and where I want it to go. How can I steer this ship into a new direction to provide me with new results, with the results that I truly want in my life? What are accomplishments that I have not yet achieved? What can I do to achieve them? And how does this play with my habits? How are my habits performing for me to achieve the results that I want to get? Reflecting on 2022, so many things happened in my life, and I'm going to share this story with you. In the beginning of January of 2022, I lost my mother. I held her hand as she took her last breath. In fact, I was there to help her walk through as far as she can go. And she had to let me go and move on to the other side. It was one of the hardest things I had to do at the beginning of this year. For some people, it would have completely destroyed them. For me, I had practiced months prior on protecting my throne, protecting my mind, body, and spirit. I knew that this time was coming. I knew what I needed to prepare for, and I knew that my mental health was my most sacred possession, so I had to protect myself. I didn't want to fall apart. In fact, I wanted to choose that this situation in my life, this experience in my life was going to form me in a positive and courageous way. Watching my mom go through pancreatic cancer, terminal cancer, months prior, she showed me so much strength and endurance and what it was like to have a human spirit, knowing that your time was coming to an end with the people that you love. Watching her battle through emotions of defeat and grief all around her, and seeing her lift her head high and choose to dance each day or sing each day, or just tell somebody she loves them or appreciates them. It was magnificent. It was so much strength that I'd never seen before. And I like to tell people, my mother taught me how to live life. And now she taught me how to live death. It was very powerful. And it really kicked my year off into something very painful, but powerful. And I had to make the choice. How do I want to honor my mom going forward? Months following my mom's passing, I ended up going down to San Carlos Apache Reservation and met up with a few of my Apache language classmates and our teacher, Mr. Bob Stevens, and we got to take part in a sunrise ceremony, the becoming of a young girl to a woman. It was very powerful in itself, and it was such an incredible experience to take part of. And I just knew that my mother was watching over me, and I know that she was so proud of me for returning to this part of my culture, my Apache side of my culture. A few months after that, I had my first wisdom tooth pulled, and believe me, it was very traumatizing. despite what everybody said, that it was going to be easy and heal fast, it was a horrific experience for me, so much that it dislocated my jaw. And we found out that the suture was tied into one of my nerves in my cheeks, and no wonder I couldn't heal for weeks upon weeks, and it was just the most dreadful pain. A few months after that, I ended up going in for a major surgery for a hysterectomy. Turned out cancer was living in my own body. And then I had to spend months after that returning to my body, trying to walk, my body trying to process the trauma that had happened to me. And through all of this whole entire year, through everything, through the seasons of change, the ups and the downs, I kept telling myself, protect your throne, protect your mind, body, spirit. This year is meant to teach you something powerful. And if you shut down to it, if you start feeling sorry for yourself, you're going to close off to what the universe has to teach you. And it's going to be profound. So I did my best to stay awake and stay alert and embrace everything that was ahead of me. Even though some of it was, in fact, a lot of it was physically very, very excruciating and painful. Even the grief of my mother to this day is so painful. But I'm not alone, because I know so many of you out there are going through the same thing as I did last year. And I know that some of you have been through the same things, maybe different experiences, but have experienced it physically in your body, the pain, the grief, the sorrow, the sadness. This year was tough for a lot of us. But the same could be said about 2021 and 2020 and 2019 and 2018 and all in the past. Every year has its seasons. It's like the reflection of Mama Earth. You know, spring, summer, fall, winter, and then the storms that pass through. And then right after that, the rains, the wind, and then the growth of all of life springing forward. It happens over and over and over again. And one of the things that I learned is that prepare for it, prepare for the hard times. And that's why prior to my mom's passing, I prepared myself. I knew it was coming, and I knew I had to prepare myself mentally, physically, and emotionally, and spiritually. And that's my reflection for this year. My reflection is that I received the experience. I received the message. I received the lesson. I was humbled by it. I was humbled by all of it. And humbleness is something that we often forget because so many of us live with an entitlement mindset. And it's okay to feel that you're worthy. It's okay to feel that you are powerful and successful and you deserve it all, because you do. But there's got to be a touch of humbleness in there, because humbleness is just so breathtaking. It's delightful. It's yummy. It's so cute and cuddly. Humbleness just is so brilliant in its own way. And I think that if you can be humble, it just expands everything that you are when it comes to good and beautiful and successful. All of these things are just amplified when you have humbleness added to it. Now, reflecting on this past year, I also went through a lot of trials and tribulations financially because of some things in my life that I'm going to keep private. But I will say this, it began to affect my life. And through grief, trying to stay above water mentally and physically, I just kept telling myself, I've got to change it. I've got to change the way that it's starting to pull me under. And I searched and researched on how to do that. How can I get my head above water? How can I get my emotions above water? Because I know that, that your emotions are energy, and where that energy flows, attention goes, and where that attention goes is going to amplify and expand. And that's what you're giving out to the universe. And that's what you're going to receive back. So I knew that I had to take control of it before it drowns me in my own sorrow. And when I reflect on that, I realize one of my goals and dreams for years and years and years that I seem to lose focus on is the millionaire mindset, the attracting of abundance and prosperity. Because when we get comfortable, when we get in this place of just everything's fine, money's flowing in, your bills are being paid, there's good food on the table, you have all your friends around, everything's just lukewarm, we kind of let go of the thrive and strive and hustle towards the bigger picture that we were, previously after, which is this abundance of it. So that way, when we do hit those moments of struggle and trials and tribulations, we don't have to worry when it comes to that. And I realized that I have become that person in the lukewarm water. I'm good. I'm happy. Things are great in my life. I feel well taken care of. However, I don't have $1 million. I can't teach people how to have $1 million because I don't know it myself. Can I teach people how to, reach their goals, how to have confidence and courage in achieving their goals? Absolutely. Absolutely. Can I teach them how to, follow a business model online and make money? Absolutely. You can have lots and lots of money and you can be well off, but there's something different when you dip your toe in the water source of a millionaire status. And that's something I still yet have not achieved. I've achieved a lot in this life. I became an international best-selling author of my book, Nothing Sexier Than Freedom. I produced my own book trailer. I traveled the world a few times over. I'm engaged to the love of my life. I've traveled. I've created retreats. I've created businesses. I've coached clients. I've done very, very achievable and powerful and exciting things with my life. Yet, I have not become a millionaire. And I thought, well, you know what? Maybe this is that year. Not maybe. This is that year. 2023 is that year. 2023 is that year that I plant my feet down and I focus solely on money and building prosperity and building wealth. And sure, when you focus on something that you want to happen in your life, you've got to start cutting out everything else, all the distractions. You've got to cut out things so that way your focus can, all that energy and all these other sources can come together and become more powerful and more driven and more persistent towards the direction that you're trying to go. And I thought this would be fun. This is actually really fun. What an idea. And one thing that I know for sure is that what you attract, what you put out there emotionally with every beam in your body, it will come to you. It's the law of the universe. And I know this because it's happened to me time and time and time and time and time again. If I attract it, if I think on it and then I act on it, it comes to me. And I always get surprised, but I'm like, why am I surprised? This is the law of the universe. Okay. But it comes to me and I get so excited and I think to myself, imagine if I put even more effort, more energy in this direction. For example, last month, November, I decided to do a 30-day consistency challenge. And on that goal list was to have 2 more multiple streams of income. So I thought, okay, I can figure this out. And I've been wanting to do this for a couple years, mind you, a couple years. I did it in 30 days, what I've been trying to accomplish for months or for years. Why did it take me so long? Well, because my focus and my energy was scattered out into so many different arenas in my life. all I had to do is bring it all in, hone that energy, and blast it towards my number one focus. And this focus was a few streams of income. My goal was 2 streams of income, and I managed to put it in 3. And it was like this light bulb went off again, but way more brighter. It was like, wow, why didn't you do that before? Okay, forget the regret. Why don't we do this moving forward? So that's what I was like, okay. I talk to myself like we, like me, myself, and I. I know you do that, okay? So I was thinking, okay, that's pretty awesome. How can I do this over and over and over again and make it even more bigger, expand those funds? And today, just today, I made money on TikTok for the first time. And my sister called me and I was like, oh my God, you're never going to guess what happened. I made money on TikTok today. And she goes, oh my God, does this mean that you're an influencer? And I was laughing so hard. It was so cute. No, I'm not an influencer. I'm not even a micro influencer, but I could be on my way there. Just the idea that I made money in a phone app, online, is just like, okay, just another source of income, another stream of income. And the cool thing about it is I was having so much fun doing it when I made the money. So I think to myself a lot about this whole millionaire mindset idea. And I listened to Grant Cardone, one of his podcasts the other day on millionaire mindset. And he said some really great things that I've heard multiple times in my life. I heard it when I read Think and Grow Rich, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, The Richest Man in Babylon, all these financial books on how to become wealthy. But hearing it again in my 40s just made me realize, okay, my energy has been so pulled in now that now I have got all of this energy to give out. Where do I want to put it out at? Energy is so powerful. It's so priceless, and it's your wealth. Energy is your wealth. Energy is what fuels your mental status, your physical status, your spiritual status. When you get up in the morning, it's the first thing that you do when you get up. It's the energy that's waking you up, getting you up, and moving you forward to do anything in life. And I think about my energy and I'm like, where do I want to put my energy in today? Where do I want to blast it into? And what's the biggest return on income that I can get once I put this energy out? I've started to change my perspective with my energy. If the goal is to make money and to build wealth, then my energy has to be put towards or invested in the areas that it's going to do just that. Grant Cardone says, who has your money? That's the question he has you ask yourself. Who has your money? And what he means by that, or what I believe he means by that, from based off what I listen to and what I know about financial markets, is who has your return on investment. So wherever you put your energy towards, who is it or what is it that you're investing your energy towards that's going to have that return on investment and that compound interest, that money that comes back, that wealth that comes back, that prosperity that comes back. And that's one of the exciting things about where my mindset is shifting towards in the past month alone, past 2 months, I should say. I started in November. I realized this could be a fun thing to do and a big, big goal to choose to go after. But I have goals that I've knocked out left and right. I've achieved so much in life. I've been complacent. I've been content. I've relaxed. I've done all the things. I'm ready for a new level, a new exciting level, something that seems impossible to many, but is possible. I think about all the 20-somethings out there right now who are millionaires. They're millionaires because they do a lot of things online. If they can do it, how come I can't? What is happening right now? If there's all of these millionaires, or all of these, I should say, thousandaires out there making money online, working 4-hour work weeks, working less, making more, how come I'm not doing it? How come you're not doing it? I've done a lot of work on my relationship with money over the past, 2 decades almost. And that's what actually changed a lot of my endeavors, a lot of my actions towards all of my goals. I made a lot of money. I lost a lot of money, made a lot of money, lost a lot of money, made a lot of money, made a lot of money, made a lot of money, lost a lot of money. It's just been this game back and forth. One of the things that I love about venturing into the journey towards a millionaire is that it's an abundant source of wealth. So if you lose it, it's still coming in. It's residual income, it's passive income, it's income flowing, just out of the stream for you. And the coolest part about it is that you know how you got there. You worked hard to get there. You devised and strategized a plan to get there. And now it's there for you. And if you want to go further with it, it's generational wealth. Generational wealth. I've got a son, and I'm sure if you're listening, maybe you have kids or nieces or nephews or friends, who needed help at one time. And the worst thing you can say is, I don't have it. I don't have the funds to pay for this program I want to do that's going to help me be better in life. I don't have the funds to give my friend because, I'm barely surviving. I don't have the funds to take that trip I've always wanted to take. I don't have the funds to go see my family members that I haven't seen in forever and I miss them. I don't have the funds to fix my car. I don't have the funds to change my tires. I don't have the funds to help anybody and everybody that I really want to help. I don't have the funds to help myself. The lack mindset is something I know very well of. I came from it, born and raised on the streets. It's a little saying, but really, I was raised in Southern California. And I remember when we were younger being in shelters and getting donations for food and clothing. My mom was single mom of 5 kids. And then when my dad had us, he was a single dad of 5 kids, when my mother had to go and move on and do things and prepare a life for us. And I just think about everything that we saw and we went through in life. And I think about my life now and how far I've come and how great my life is. It's great. It's great. I am able to help people when I can. But there's so many people that can't out there. And I think to myself, I can't be a leader in the arena of money unless I learn how to figure it out myself in this bigger platform. And that's something I think that I would like to do. So I thought, why not? Why not take on this road ahead of me and go for it? Yes, queen, let's make some moves. So, I'm crazy enough to think that I can make goals happen. So why wouldn't I be crazy enough to think that I can make millions of dollars happen in my life, right? And I invite you out there today, let's stop thinking small. Let's think big. Let's think beyond big and have fun in life again. I love the saying by Wayne Gretzky: you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. And I love that because basically it means to make no attempt to do something guarantees failure. So you should always try. I love that because that's a quote that has kind of shifted my life over the past 2 decades. You do miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So why not just go for it and take it? Why not just go for the risk and see what happens, see how it turns out? And I know there's a lot of risk involved when you do go for investing and taking all these awesome, new chances in life. There's a lot of risk to it. But look past the risk and see maybe what the possibilities are. What could happen in your life? What are the best things that can happen with these outcomes? And focus on that. And then, sure, maybe you fall short of the dream or the goal, but you learn something. You learn something that you can teach others about. Full circling back to 2022 and everything I've learned this year. One of the ways I know I can honor my loved ones who have passed is by living the most craziest and fun and joyous and prosperous life that I can. So when I do get to heaven, I can tell them all about it. Or maybe they'll tell me all about it. Like, hey, we saw it ahead of time that you were going to run into this problem. But who knows? Who knows? What I do know is I want to inspire you. I want to inspire my family, my friends, my son, my nieces, my nephews. I want to inspire people and say I went for it. So I invite you for 2023 to set a big goal and go for it. Feel the fear and make moves anyways. I believe in you. The last thing I want to invite you is to my Confident and Courageous Me program going on and starting January 4th. It's 75% off. And in this program, it's one night a week for 4 weeks. You'll be on an online call with me and many others, and we will discuss our goals together. It's a mastermind group. I can coach you. We'll coach each other, well, with everybody else in the group. And you will learn some action steps to get towards your goals. You will build your confidence. You will boost your courage or boost courage, boost your confidence, boost your attitude, gain clarity. And I'm telling you, it's going to be magnificent. You do want to join this. So remember to subscribe and share this podcast with your friends. And again, come to the Confident and Courageous Me program, the online workshop for 4 weeks. You can find everything you need to know in the link below. And I want to say I am so grateful to all of our listeners out there listening, sharing this podcast, sharing everything about your life with others to inspire others. Keep going, keep living, keep striving, keep thriving. Last but not least, I know I said the other thing was last, but go get my book, Nothing Sexier Than Freedom, available on Amazon and Audible. I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful New Year's. And don't forget, reach out anytime and give us a 5-star review on Spotify and iTunes. Have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day. Thank you. Ahia.
Want to hear more?
Visit us at SexyFreedomMedia.com.